I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update from Monday, December the 14th, 2015. 14 people were injured this morning in a vehicular terror attack in Jerusalem. The incident occurred at the entrance to the city next to the Bridge of Strings, or cords as it is called, when a Palestinian man deliberately drove his car into a group of Israeli civilians, 11 of whom were lightly injured, 3 moderately injured. They include a woman in her 70s and an 18-month-old baby, on whom doctors were operating hoping to save the baby's foot, which was caught under the vehicle when it hit. The terrorist was named as 21-year-old Abd el-Muhsen Hassouna from the East Jerusalem neighborhood of Beit Hanina. Hassouna started to get out of his car after the ramming and was then shot and killed by a member of Israeli security forces, a security guard, and an armed civilian who saw what was happening. An axe and a screwdriver were also found in the terrorist's vehicle, suggesting that he intended to use the weapons to continue his attack. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the swift response at the scene, which prevented further injuries. He told his Likud faction meeting today, "We are facing a new kind of terror, that of individuals." He said this presents a challenge not only to us, but the entire world. "I have no doubt we will overcome the challenge." In light of other recent attacks in Jerusalem, Transportation Minister Yisrael Katz yesterday approved the deployment of 300 additional security guards for Jerusalem's public transit system. A rocket fired from Gaza landed in southern Israel last evening. It exploded in an open area in the Sha'ar HaNegev Regional Council. No damage or injury was caused. Israel's Air Force retaliated overnight last night, hitting 2 Hamas terror targets. The IDF said in a statement that it holds the terror group responsible for any such actions coming out of Gaza and would, quote, continue to act severely against any attempt to disturb the peace of communities in the south. Israeli-American violinist Yitzhak Perlman has been named recipient of the 2016 Genesis Prize. The prize is administered in a partnership between the Israeli Prime Minister's office, the private Genesis Prize Foundation, and the Jewish Agency for Israel. It recognizes an individual who has achieved professional success, contributed to humanity, and shown a strong commitment to Jewish causes and to the State of Israel. Genesis organizers said that Perlman is being honored for his accomplishments as a musician, as a teacher, and as an advocate for the disabled. The renowned musician said he was humbled by the honor. Perlman said, "I have always been very proud of my Jewish heritage, which has greatly influenced my music, my worldview, and my work as an advocate for individuals whom society often leaves behind." Perlman said he intends to use the $1 million prize money for projects to assist those with disabilities and to develop young, talented musicians. The prize will be presented by Prime Minister Netanyahu on June the 23rd of next year in Jerusalem. The first Genesis Prize, if you recall, was given to former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, the second to actor Michael Douglas. Celebrated fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg is looking to fund the restoration of the ancient Jewish ghetto in Venice. Von Furstenberg, who is Jewish and whose mother survived Auschwitz, leads the Venetian Heritage Council, a nonprofit organization aimed at funding extensive repairs to the ghetto's 5 synagogues, which date back to the 16th century, as well as to its Jewish museum. The council's chairman, Joseph Sitt, said that the ghetto of Venice sits at a nexus of world history for Venice, Europe, and Jewish culture as a whole. It needs, he said, to be saved, its history told. The Telegraph reports that while the organization has already raised $2.2 million, von Furstenberg has now made an appeal to celebrity friends to raise the other $6.6 million needed, as Venice prepares to commemorate the 500th anniversary of the ghetto's establishment in March of next year. And as Jews around the world lit the last Hanukkah candle last night, the first ever public Hanukkah candle lighting was held in Turkey on the 8th night of the holiday. The ceremony took place in Istanbul and was organized by the city's municipality and its Jewish community. It was also attended by the chief rabbi of Turkey as well as by representatives from its government. And U.S. Special Envoy against Anti-Semitism Ira Foreman attended a Hanukkah lighting ceremony in Hungary last night, where he told Reuters that the U.S. was shocked at Hungary's plans to honor a man who deported Jews during the Holocaust, referring there to the planned statue of Balint Homan, who played a key role in the deportation of the country's Jews to the Nazi death camps in the 1930s and 40s. Foreman said that from the U.S. government perspective, we feel very strongly that history and the damage that this man did to Hungarian citizens who happen to be Jewish cannot be ignored. And to put up that statue, he said, seems incomprehensible. Israeli ambassador to Hungary, Ilan Moore, who was also at the ceremony last night, said he hoped that the light of the candles would light the way to the right decision, not to erect the statue. Looking now at our programming for tonight on JBS, Monday, December the 14th. At 8 o'clock, Cuban-born American Jew Alejandro Mayorkas, who is the former director of USCIS in charge of immigration and refugee resettlement, talks about U.S.'s ailing immigration system and the balance between security and welcoming refugees. That's with the Forward's Nathan Gutman from the Jewish Federation of North America's General Assembly in Washington. And also from the GA at 8:30, entrepreneur and philanthropist Dan Pallotta talks about new strategies for fundraising. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with former Chief Orthodox Rabbi of Great Britain, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks on L'chaim. And at 10:15, author Cynthia Ozick shares her views on Jewish writers from the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Israeli politician Uzi Dayan looks at the prospects for peace from the 2015 Jerusalem Post Conference. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 14th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.